All these 5 components make up your profile based on which you can get admission in a bachelor's program in America. And let's be real, studying abroad is exciting. You truly get to live a US education experience in a bachelor's program, not so much in master's or PhD. Earlier, international students from India and other countries used to come to the US for their master's or PhD. But in the recent years, the trend has been changing. More people from India and other countries come to America than ever before. Even top rankers in IIT JEE, rank 1, 2, 3 and such people have now been ditching their IIT plans and have been enrolling in top American universities, mostly MIT and sometimes Stanford. 10 or so years ago, there were hardly any international students in undergraduate classes, but things have been changing very quickly now. I see more and more international students in undergraduate classes for bachelor's degree in America. So why is that? Is it better to come to America for a bachelor's degree than staying back in your home country? Or is it better to go for a bachelor's degree in their home countries and then come to US for master's or PhD? Let's find out. This is Chaitanya Samphara, faculty at the College of Business, University of Texas, Arlington. The choice of country where one pursues their higher education, bachelor's and above, is a critical decision that influences an individual's personal growth, career prospects, and their worldview. It has become increasingly common for Indian students to pursue their studies abroad, particularly in the United States. America boasts a diverse and globally recognized education system. US universities continually rank among the best universities in the world, and they are renowned for their academic rigor, research opportunities, and their broad set of programs that they offer. The quality of education and the multiplicity of programs offer students extensive options to specialize in their area of interest. Moreover, the curriculum adopted by US universities tends to deviate from traditional rote learning systems that many countries use. American education instead focuses on well-rounded skill set in students. The emphasis is placed on understanding concepts, critical thinking, and applying theories to real-life situations. For example, when I used to teach a database class, I would never ask questions for which students need to memorize anything. The entire exam would test their understanding of concepts. This difference in educational approach can result in a more holistic development of students, and that gives a clear edge and lead to someone in the job market when they graduate from an American university. Another compelling aspect of US education is the flexibility it provides. Unlike largely rigid structures of most Indian bachelor's degrees, US universities allow students the liberty to select their major and minor subjects. Many Indian universities are also doing this now, but in the US, you can even change your major midway through your course. This approach provides students with the opportunity to explore diverse disciplines before deciding on their area of specialization, lending to more informed career choices. Exposures to different cultures and perspectives is another reason to study in the US. With a multicultural student population, US universities provide an international platform for cultural exchange, fostering global citizens who can adapt to and function in diverse work environments. This exposure can be a transformative experience, enabling students to broaden their horizons and develop a global perspective. This exposure can be a transformative experience, enabling students to broaden their horizons and develop a global perspective. One must also consider the research opportunities available in the US. America invests heavily in research, more than any other country. And US universities are equipped with state-of-the-art technology and facilities. And this provides students with fantastic opportunities for research even at the undergraduate level. This involvement can provide invaluable hands-on experience and pave the way for potential breakthroughs in their respective fields. The vibrant campus life is also worth noting in America. The focus is not solely on academics. Students are encouraged to participate in a wide array of extracurricular activities. There are numerous clubs and organizations catering to diverse interests, fostering an enriching environment that promotes personal development and cultivates skills such as leadership, teamwork, and time management. The advantage of US bachelor's degree extends to other aspects of career as well. A degree from a globally recognized US university can significantly enhance employability. Graduates often find themselves presented with lucrative job prospects, including opportunities to work for international corporations or even entrepreneurial avenues. Furthermore, the degree holds substantial value upon returning to India, with employers often considering international education as an asset. Finally, studying in USA fosters personal growth. Living independently in a foreign country necessitates adaptability and self-reliance, equipping students with life skills that extend beyond academic learning. Managing personal finance, navigating cultural differences, and solving day-to-day challenges can mature students, which prepares them for their future professional and personal endeavors. Now compare a bachelor's degree program with a master's degree program. You truly get to live a US education experience in a bachelor's program, not so much in master's or PhD. The reality of master's and PhD programs in America is that most of the master's level classes are filled with students from India, and PhD classes are mostly filled with students from China, Korea, and to some extent India. Very few Americans go for PhD these days. In my own department at UT Arlington, majority of the PhD students I think are from Iran, followed by China, and one or two here and there Indian students. When I was a PhD student myself, I remember I was taking this course called qualitative research. In my class, we had 10 students, and the only American in our class was the professor. Okay. And among the 10 students, we had 1 Canadian and 9 other students were from China, Korea, and from India. In fact, the last semester I taught at UT Arlington, I had a class of 49 students for master's class. Out of those 49, I had 1 white American, 1 black American, and 1 Hispanic American. And apart from that, I had 1 Vietnamese student. Rest all students were from India. So out of 49, 45 students were from India alone. And among these 45 students, I think 35 were mostly from Andhra and Telangana, just 2 states. So this is what you need to be prepared for. When you come to America for a master's degree, you are likely not to get that traditional American education experience of mingling with American students that you would have expected otherwise. If you come to America as a master's student, most likely you will be surrounded by other Indian students. And what happens with most people, almost all people, is that they almost spend all their time among students with the same background as themselves. You will largely see Telugu students hanging out with Telugu students, Gujarati students hanging with Gujarati students, and so on. If you want to mingle with other international students and local American students, you will have to probably make an extra effort. It might not happen organically. So if you come to US for a master's program, it will be over fast. It will be over too soon, and before you realize, you will be out in the job market looking for a job. So since the time you came and now that you're looking for a job, you do not really get enough time to settle down. You will feel that you're almost always on the run. And if you come to America as a PhD student, you will have to go through a long journey of solitude and possibly lack of money. Therefore, a bachelor's degree will give you a middle ground between the master's and PhD programs. You will get sufficient time to settle down, explore things, and grow in a new culture while it is not as long as a PhD program. And let's be real, studying abroad is exciting. I would go as far as saying that only a bachelor's degree will give you truly American education experience. And there's one key advantage to it. You can even avail 2 OPTs. OPT stands for Optional Practical Training, in which you can work after you graduate for a company without having the need for an H-1B visa. You can continue to work on your student visa by getting that work permit OPT. When you get a degree from America, and especially if you have a STEM degree, you can work on OPT for 3 full years, and that too without having the need for an H-1B visa. A key difference between H-1B and OPT in this regard is that if you get a job, you will get an OPT. However, in case of H-1B, that may not be the case. Even if you get a job, you may not be able to get through the H-1B lottery system. And if you do not get H-1B visa after 2 or 3 attempts, you have no other choice but to do something else. Either you can go back or you can enroll for another program. And given the reality of today with H-1B, there is less than 20% chance that even if you get a job, you will eventually get H-1B visa to work legally. Now, if you finish a degree from here, get a job and avail your OPT and work for 3 years, after that, if you are not able to continue working at your company for whatever reason, what you can do is that you can enroll for a master's program. And when you finish your master's program, you will get a brand new OPT that has nothing to do with your old OPT that you availed as a bachelor student. The old OPT that you got as a bachelor's graduate will not create any problems for you. And that is because for each degree level, you get a fresh OPT. For example, for a bachelor's degree, you get 1 OPT, for a master's, you get another OPT, and for PhD, you get a 3rd OPT. However, if you just finish a master's degree in the US and avail your OPT and work on OPT, and then for whatever reason you are forced to go through another master's program, you cannot get an OPT again because you had already got an OPT at the same degree level before. You will probably have no other option but to go back for even a higher degree such as PhD. And let's be real, PhD is not a realistic task for most people. So how does one get admission into a bachelor's program then? Well, for admission into a bachelor's program, you need to show your grades from class 9 through class 12, which is considered high school in the US. The second thing you need to show are your extracurricular activities. For example, people who get into MIT might have won a math Olympiad or physics or chemistry Olympiad and things like that. And then what matters is that what kind of clubs you have been involved in. For example, in your school, if you have science club, maths club, even chess club, or any kind of sports club, your activities in that can also help you improve your prospects to get admission. And apart from these things, what also matters is that what kind of volunteering experience you have. How have you served the society? What have you done for people? For example, if you participated in a tree plantation drive, or if you went to underprivileged areas and taught students, any of such activities will be very beneficial to secure admission in bachelor's programs. The third component that decides your admission into a bachelor's program are your scores in standardized tests. These tests usually are ACT and SAT. If you are an international student from a non-English speaking country, you will also need to take TOEFL, which is Test of English as Foreign Language. The fourth component of your application process in an American university is your personal statement. You will need to write an essay on your background, your interest, why you should be given admission in that university, and what differentiates you or what makes you special. You will need to explain why you are a good candidate for admission in that university. And the fifth and final component of getting an admission is your recommendation letters. These recommendation letters should come from your teachers and mentors who know you, who have seen you grow through the process, and who can vouch for your success in your institution. All these 5 components make up your profile based on which you can get admission in a bachelor's program in America. And then finally, you need to pick what kind of university you want to attend in America. While in India, you have government universities which are considered top universities such as IITs and NITs. In America, it's the opposite. Usually, the private universities are among the best known universities in America, such as MIT, Harvard, Columbia, Stanford. These are all private universities. But a big challenge for most international students in relation to these private universities is that they are very expensive. The total cost to attend these top private universities will not be less than 1 crore Indian rupees. And the actual range of expenses can actually be quite wide. Let us assume that you get admission at a private university, a top private university, and you get no scholarship. You have to pay for your tuition and all your expenses on your own, such as your rent, your living expenses, your food, your phone, your internet, and your books and whatever. Everything added together, the expenses can be as high as 3.2 crore Indian rupees. And 3.2 crores is a lot of money. So usually those who attend top universities in America are either very rich, they come from a very rich background, or they get very high scholarships. For example, many of the recent toppers in JEE who got admissions into IITs choose to go to MIT instead. And I think almost all of them got good scholarships. And the scholarships that they got were merit-based scholarships. So you have need-based and merit-based. And if you can get a merit-based scholarship, that can really help you secure admission and then eventually get your F1 student visa. And in case, like most of you come from normal middle-class families and you do not get scholarships to study in expensive American private universities, do not lose heart. There are still many good quality public universities where you still have chance to get scholarship. And in many universities, if you have an on-campus job there, either a portion or your entire tuition gets waived. At least you will get some relief from paying the full tuition fee. And if in your case, even public universities are not working out, you have liberal arts colleges. You can Google search liberal arts colleges in USA. And these colleges are even cheaper. And finally, you also have community colleges in America, and community colleges are the most affordable. However, from a community college, you can only get an associate degree, you do not get a full bachelor's degree. But after completing your education and earning an associate degree from a community college, you can then enroll in a state university where you will be attending that university for 2 or at most 3 years. What it means is that you would have saved money by not spending all 4 years of earning that bachelor's degree in a proper college. Instead, you save on money by spending only 1 or 2 years worth of tuition fee at a state university. So going to community college for an associate degree and then going for a degree college can actually save you quite some money. Now, if your financial condition is such that you cannot even afford community college education, still do not lose heart. In that case, I would suggest that it is best to complete your bachelor's degree in India, which is much more affordable. And then after finishing a bachelor's in India, you can come to the US for your master's degree. And remember that in the case of a master's degree, you do not pay tuition for 4 years, you pay tuition for only 2 years. So whether you should come to US for bachelor's or should you finish bachelor's in India and then come to the US for master's entirely depends on the strength of your profile to get admission in a bachelor's degree and then by the strength of your pocket size. Therefore, it is critical to acknowledge that studying abroad is not without its own challenges. Financial implications, adapting to a new culture, homesickness, even potential language barriers can be issues that students have to contend with. Furthermore, the decision to study in the United States should align with an individual's career goals, personal comfort, and very importantly, financial considerations. In conclusion, I would go even as far as saying is that if money is not an issue for you, if you come from a wealthy, well-to-do family, then you should most likely go for a bachelor's degree in the US rather than any other country. Pursuing a bachelor's degree in America will give you a holistic educational experience, and that experience extends beyond classroom. While the education system in India has its own merits, but America's exposure, opportunities, and personal growth make America an attractive prospect. And this experience is much more than acquiring a degree. It is about embracing global education. It is about fostering personal development and eventually setting the stage for a successful career. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind and God bless America.